off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station. Home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, and more. Why so many places? I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So that's why we balance out all the bad news out there. No headlines here, only heart lines, because most of the headlines, if not all, are negative and make you say, what's wrong with people? Instead, I want us to say, what is right with people? What's right with you? What's right with the world? And so I have topics and guests to that end. And this is a special month, all month, because we've been celebrating my 13th consecutive. Oh, I think we have the wrong banner up, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, we have Throwback Thursday. That was yesterday. But I have been on every weekday morning for consecutive 682 or 83 right now. So that means it's been a long forking time, and I'm very grateful that I'm still here. And we've had Layla Ali come back and be one of my special celebrating guests, as well as we're going to have Florence LaRue from the Fifth Dimensions. When the moon is in the seventh sky. Do you remember that song?
I do. I love that song.
And I would love for you to say something. Maybe I'll have you pop in when she comes in to tell her, because she wants to know what young musicians have been influenced or, were fans of her music. And I told her that I would find some people. So you're like perfect for that. So she's coming back, but you know that it's Friday because you see the one, the only Ricky Rebel in the house. He's my co-host for Straight Talk every first and third and sometimes fifth week of the month. In addition to being one of my co-hosts, he is the Billboard Top 40 Recording Artist as seen on tour with Britney Spears. He's been a Grammy member since 2017, part of the voting membership for the Recording Academy. He was discovered by Michael Jackson, signed to his label on Sony, and later signed to Madonna's record label Maverick Records. And next month, and he was inducted to the American Entertainment Hall of Fame, and he has launched not one, but two music videos on this show, which I am truly just so proud of him and all that he does and the discography that he has produced and continues to produce. Please welcome back to my studio, the one, the only beautiful inside and out, Ricky Rebel. And we have Cashew Gallery people already. Ricky looks great. I won't take that personally that you didn't say anything about me, but it's all good. I know
you look amazing
in the house.
You look gorgeous. I think we are kind of getting the vibe, right?
Again, we never, by my direction, I won't let them talk to me before the show because I want to keep everything fresh. And we do not coordinate outfits, although every single time, bar none, we have gotten the vibe.
A synchronicity.
Yes, absolutely. Serendipity doodah is how I call it. But welcome to the show. And we're going to start with the breakfast. with Ricky and I, which means you take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, top of the bun, things that you're grateful for outside of yourself. You see the sleeves?
Oh, love that sleeve.
I knew you would. And then the bottom of the bun, because I like it on the bottom, is gratitudes turned inwards. So what do you like about yourself? It's weight training for good mental health. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of you? So that's what we do. Top of every show. Here we go. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my cat Willow. I just had some major snuggie time with her. I call it WYD, what you do when she hits me up, and she texts me, WYD, what you doing? She wants to come in and snuggie, get close to me, and it's just such a beautiful moment. I love her so much.
Beautiful. I am grateful for the outpouring of love and support yesterday and continues as my mom passed early yesterday morning, Eastern time, 7:10 a.m. And I'm so grateful that there's so many people out there who actually read my post, not just look at the picture. And it took me all day to get the right words that I wanted to express when I made the announcement. And I'll add another gratitude that it's not that the show must go on. I actually did a show yesterday, but it was a throwback Thursday, so I didn't have to be on camera quite that much. But just knowing I can lean on Ricky today and not sit and marinade, but be able to use this time to also, talk about the circle of life and death. So that is what we're talking about today for Straight Talk. But I'm grateful for all of my family, social media family, which is like, honestly, I'm not bashing my own family, but honestly, the support and love that comes from people, this, your rebels love you and support you. And I have that same thing. I got to figure out they're what
are they?
What would they be? Dr. Marissa's, what? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
The balancers.
That's nice.
The balancers. Okay.
The balancers.
So that is
the balancers.
What are you grateful for? We'll do another one.
Well, my condolences to you, my love.
Thank you.
Yes. I am grateful for this new music I've been making, I've been producing. I've been working with some really high top tier rappers. On a project with my friend, and he asked me to write and produce for them. And I will, once I get a confirmed date with when they're releasing the music, I'll let you know what rappers they are. But let's just say they're just legendary rappers. And I got to write for them on these songs. I mean, the rappers, they write their own parts, but then I write like the chorus and the verses and whatnot for my friend and I on this project. So I'm really grateful for that. It's really gotten my creative juices flowing.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I figured when I did it. Whenever I text and you don't text right back, I know that you're in a project. And so that's super cool. I want to be able to be in the studio one time just to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You should come over one day. Come over one day. And
I would love that.
I'll record you.
I
love your voice. I can do a lot with it.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be grateful for the ease with which we can have, things to buy to drink and things to buy to eat and not taking that for granted at all. Just absolutely the freedom that we have.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
going to
good.
Africa in August. I don't know if you knew
Wow.
that.
I didn't know that.
So I'm going to teach balanced Tai Chi Gong and do some TV stuff there because of the 8 Ways to Happiness that is still continuing to help people, claim their birthright to happiness. So yeah, I'll be in Africa for August. And because of my mom's celebration of life service, I decided to spend a month in Canada. So all my April Fool's jokes are coming true because in the fall, I'm working on being in China and Taiwan. So it looks like there's nothing like having a death to mark how short time is. So yeah, that's I'm grateful for that.
You're
All
going
right.
for it. You're going for it.
Yes, I am. And the bottom of the bun is, what do you like about yourself?
You're not going to believe this, but I wrote mine down.
Wow.
I wrote it down because I was so proud. And
Now this is,
I think you'll like this one.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Just the fact that you wrote it down. This is a man who did not like this exercise. In fact,
I still don't. It's still uncomfortable.
Both of my boy co-hosts, same thing. Dr. Tiffany is a shy Leo like myself, so she didn't have an issue.
Well, it might also be, being a part of the LGBT community. I think a lot of us deal with shame, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, Chinese too. Don't, the nail that stands up is hammered down. Don't toot your own horn.
Don't stand
Don't
out.
think you're all that. Who do you think you are?
All this programming.
Yeah. And all that leads to is looking for love and approval from all the wrong places, walking around with antenna going, who likes me? And literally on social, who likes me? How many likes am I getting?
You're going to be so happy. I was taking a shower at the gym and in the locker. And I started to go down a thought trail that I didn't, you ever do that where you go down the thought trail and you dare yourself to go down that thought trail because you think that it's going to lead to something that's going to make you feel, whatever you need to feel. And I decided to change the channel.
So proud of you. Awareness followed by inspired.
It's just something mean about myself. It was something mean about myself. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to change the channel. I'm not going to think about that. I don't want to think about it. I want to think about something else. So successfully changing the channel.
And using that muscle. And we all have that muscle. Right. We think that we are have a gun to our heads to look through social, to listen to bad news, to look at roadkill. No, you have a choice to not look at the roadkill.
You have a choice to not compare yourself to other people.
Yes. And you've gotten good at that. And I'm glad that that's something you have, you're mastering. Continue to master.
I'm in the dojo. I'm in the ring.
Awesome. I appreciate my ability to sit with pain and not eat over it, drug over it, shop over it 88% of the time. Shopping, retail therapy. There's something about that new pair of shoes that'll make me feel better.
We need to go to Santa Monica soon.
Yes, we do.
I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's going to happen though.
It's going to happen
because it's the best store. The one in Santa Monica, Second Avenue.
I can't wait. Wait.
You're going to find so just the selection alone. So many great things.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you like about yourself? One more
thing that I like about myself. I like that I'm talented.
Wow, that was you would have never have said that when we first started. Now I know. Look at you.
I have said that out loud to my husband, but not to other human beings.
Well, I'm proud of you for doing that. And if all of
It's
us,
funny.
because the truth
It sounds
is,
funny.
you're not used to it. The truth is, every single one of the 8 billion of us are talented
In
at
some
different
ways, yeah.
things, but we're talented. And if everybody believed that and acted from that place, there would be no war.
Right.
It's from insecurity, comparison, dis-ease with
Not
oneself.
enoughness.
That's why we have war. So there you go. So yay!
Yay.
All right. That's it for breakfast. Thanks for joining us. I promise that if you do this for the next 28 consecutive days to build the muscle for this new habit, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. Everything is awesome. It is the circle of life and the BS belief systems about death that keep us unhappy. So I thought I would put my beautiful, sweet moose on the table, which is talking about the elephant in the room. My version of that, which is because I was born in Canada. And so if you just joined us, welcome in. We're talking about this because my mom, 90 years young, passed on Monday early morning. It was 7:10 Pacific time. No, 7:10. Yeah, Pacific time. So earlier in Canada, in Toronto, and I'm just going to open this by saying thank you for the condolences all over the place. At the same time, I am so grateful that you may remember we did a couple shows we did a whole week of shows, 2 weeks of shows from Canada because I was in Toronto last month, and I got to sit with my mom for 2 weeks, and she was already moving from palliative to hospice, but not officially. She was lucid maybe an hour a day, but in that hour, I was able to, and it was kind of like the third day I was there, I woke up sobbing from the relief of pure forgiveness. And those of you who know my story, have read the book or watched Fox's highlight for Women's History Month, know that I grew up with a tiger mom on steroids, and she called me fat, ugly, and clumsy. And I was in the hospital from abuse. So there was a lot of negative stuff when it came to mom. And I wrote the book as a way to, not as a psychologist telling you how to be happy, but as one of the 7 out of 10 of us who had childhood trauma and know that you can be happy too by working through your pain. Now, that was published some time ago. I had probably done 88% forgiveness, but there was still that little bit of, why would you do that to me? You're my mom. You're supposed to be my biggest fan. Da, 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 da. So there was still a little bit. And something about this last trip, before I even got there, I wanted to go. I didn't not want to. I was going out of duty, right? Because she was bedridden and Parkinson's, and I would go 2, 3, 4 times a year out of that sense of responsibility and duty and doing her a favor or being of service. And something about this trip, like I was looking forward to it. I, sort of paved that road before I got there. I was feeling like, you know what? I know she did the best that she could. It's not just psychobabble. Like, she really thought she was helping me with negative motivation. And she really did do the best that she could with the time that she had and the resources she had. I got there, and for the first time in my entire life, and I know I look young, and I'm #ageless, but all these years of going to visit her, she has never, like, I'd kiss her on the cheek and she would usually sort of just turn her head a little. And this time she put her arms around my neck. She's never done that in my entire life.
Wow.
So that was the start. And by the third day, I woke up in my brother's house and I was sobbing from the complete joy and freedom of forgiveness. And I went into her that day, and when she was lucid, I went and right up to her face and I said, "Mom, I love you. I know that you did the best that you could with the time that you had to raise us. And I know you loved me in your way. And I forgive you. And I set you free. And I love you." And then there was a pause, and she looked at me and she said, "And I love you too."
That's right.
And it was just this incredible freedom that continued for the rest of the visit. And that was last month. And every single day I've been calling, not out of duty, but I wanted to. And up until Friday, I said, "I love you." And she said, "I love you too." And then Saturday, she stopped eating. Sunday, she was, in that place of not really there. And then the palliative doctor moved her into hospice and started the drip morphine instead of the oral. And so by Sunday, I talked to the nurse, and she said, it's going to be 2-3 days. And because she's been with her every day. And so that night I went to look for tickets to go, and non-refundable last minute. And those are not cheap tickets, I have to say.
To Canada.
Like over 1,000. And
right.
That's not the point, but something told me to not buy it. Like it just said, wait till tomorrow. And she passed in the morning. So, it was one of those, oh no, this wasn't Monday. Anyways, whenever it was yesterday. So like I would have, the only reason why I wanted to go, because I wanted to hold her hand when she crossed over. And I did that for my bonus mom. Remember, that was 3 months ago.
Yes.
I was able to hold. So I wanted to do that so she wasn't alone, but there was a palliative nurse there. She wasn't alone, and she really wasn't there. But that's the story, Ricky, that I wanted to tell you. I purposely didn't tell you, before yesterday. But the thing about the topic is, I am sad, yes, of course, but I didn't lose her. She's not lost. I know exactly where she is. My BS that makes me feel good is that everybody comes from love and everybody returns to love. And that's the circle. And she's at peace. She's in no pain. She's with all the people that she loves that have passed, my father included. And I am, that's why I like celebration of life. I don't like funeral, that word. I like that I am planning the service now for a celebration of life, the same way I was helping with my bonus moms. And I'm so grateful that I can actually even do this and talk about it in a way that, hopefully, if you're still grieving for someone who you think you lost, and you can't seem to, I know people 2, 3, 5, 10 years are still, so sad, is that your belief system, is not helping. So today I'm hoping that you'll just consider that, that they're not gone, and that death, you may not want to say it's a celebration, but it's certainly not the end.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So that's a lot. It's good. It's really good that you were able to get that closure, because not everybody gets that, and they have a lot of regrets. Well, I know a few people out there who have a lot of regrets when their family members die because they haven't tied up loose ends and whatnot. And so I'm really proud of you for doing all that work before it was too late. But I also believe that even after people die, if you haven't like done that kind of work, I still believe you can just talk to them and ask for forgiveness, or also say, I didn't really appreciate that, but I love you and da da da. And I really honestly believe that they can feel that, and you can repair relationships after death. I honestly believe that.
I agree with you. They don't have to be here. They're here, whether they're here in body form or not.
Yeah.
And that work you can do wherever they are.
Right.
Yeah.
When my grandfather passed, I was upstairs. I think I told you this story. Did I tell you about the mirror movie?
Remind me.
Well, I was getting ready. I know you and I have the memory of a goldfish, so it's like a new story.
Oh, good. Yes. I have a memory of a goldfish. No, I have a great memory. My recall sucks.
I've had two significant deaths in my life. It's my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather died a long time ago. He fell off a ladder. He was working on something, and my grandfather's very feisty, a feisty man. He reminds me of me a lot. Like, I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna get done right now. Like, no. I want to get this done. And he was working hard at doing something, on the ladder, and he fell, and he ended up like puncturing his lung, and this whole thing just escalated and went down. Poor care at the hospital. By the way, you got to be on those people, because they will murder your family if you're not on them and say, hey, they'll murder your family member on accident. They make mistakes, and they made a mistake, and he passed away, and they apologized and whatnot. And I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but what I'm saying is, like, I feel like those are very significant deaths in my life, but I feel like I've always been very close to my mother, my grandfather, and my grandmother. They know I love them 1,000,000%, and I know they love me 1,000,000%. And I just think that there's life after death for people. There's great love to coming into your life. There's great relationships. Patrick came into my life. My babies, Willow and Max, came into my life. You came into my life, and all my friends. There's just so many things that experiences. So for people who just like want to, I get that it's really painful, and there is one death that I'm very, very, I in the past have been very, very scared about. It's my mother, of course.
Yeah,
my mother
that's why
so much.
I had this thought when I didn't hear back. I thought, oh, maybe he's not comfortable doing this necessarily because it is mom. But yeah.
No, it's good.
I thought of that.
I feel like my mother died once already.
Right.
Because it really happened when I was 3 years old. She died on the freeway, like for real.
Right. That one I remember.
Right. Like the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me. But then, I think I've lived in fear my whole adult life of my mother dying. And it's just like, now I even had a conversation with her recently, and I said, hey, Mom, I feel like I'm at the point now where I feel good. I feel like, we've I'm secure where I need to be secure with my, everything. And I've got my husband, I've got, my family, and I've got my career going, and everything's good. And I told her for the first time, like, if you were to pass, I said, it's going to be the most devastating thing that's ever happened to me beyond, but I will survive. I will thrive, and I'm going to be happy again. I'm going to be everything, that we have built and worked so hard for me to be, basically, is just this person that am and also growing into. because she would want me to be performing. She'd want me to never miss a show for any, any reason. And yeah, so I just feel like I'm a little tiny bit more at peace with that. But I did thank God every day that I have my mother and my father as well. Mm-hmm. Every day, I thank God. But yeah, those two relationships. But I think to myself, my mother, my father, yes, they're the most important people in my life. But it's like I've lost my grandmother and my grandfather, and I've had my life is, it's it's amazing. So that's all I'm trying to say is that there's life after
that's beautiful.
death.
Yeah. And you're so I'm just doing a story on us. I forgot to do that. But the book talks about the number one tool to use when people have passed is called remembering them whole. So you said you even though you'll miss her and it will be like hard to handled maybe at the moment. I usually tell people, give yourself a month to kind of get accustomed and to also remember them whole. So you're remembering her desires for you, what she has helped develop for you. That's remembering them whole instead of at the moment. Like when I think back to my Chinese mom and my bonus mom, it's like I for a second think of her in that hospital bed or whatever the bed they are in and that last breath. But then I zoom myself up and out to remember, I'll tell you a funny story. She my mom was pretty powerful and she was able to get a plane that had already taxied down to turn around and come back and pick us up when we were kids and her. Yeah. So that's the power of my mom. And because of a medical emergency, I was also able to get a police escort out of my building during the gay pride parade. So like mother, like daughter. Hers was bigger though. A plane is a lot bigger. But anyways, so that's how I remember her whole, right? And I think that people get blocked sometimes when they remember them only in the tragedy of what happened or in the last year of illness. I mean, people who are passing from cancer, my husband's sister, like, she was in hospice for a bit, right? And yet, she had a full life, and to go and talk about her life instead of that month, right? That's the choice we have. So that's the Happy 88 tool that I wanted to offer today is remembering them whole. And thank you, Deborah, for the
Deborah.
That's Mama for the hearts.
Mama
and
Rebel.
Patricia, my mom died when I was 11. My sister did not even know my mom. I miss her. And missing. There's two kinds of missing, just like there's two kinds of pain. There's missing and if you have any physical or mental or emotional pain, if you think that you'll never feel good again, there's that way to look at pain. Or there's the pain that is like, okay, it hurts now, but I know I'm not always going to feel like this. So there's another, BS belief system sometimes that keeps us unhappy is that we think that we're never going to get over it.
That's what it is.
Yes, that's what you were talking about with your grandparents too. Like it's not permanent. It is, you can actually tune into them now, right? And they're watching and loving us. When we come back from break, I'll remind me to tell you the story of a dream I had when my dad passed of lymphoma. But we're going to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic on my KCAA, NBC News Radio channel. Don't go away. We will be right back with more Straight Talk with myself and
Ricky Rebel. Let's go.
Here we go.
into the world was exploring the world. What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into how many streets of life you have to explore? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time? Have relationships that we enjoy most of the time? And use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death? What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning to tune in and talk about things that matter instead of the headlines. We're doing heartlines and solutions on how you can be happy 88% of the time. And today, as you can tell, who I have in studio is the fabulous Ricky Rebel. It's time for Straight Talk with myself and
Ricky Rebel.
Welcome back, Ricky.
It's so awkward to say your own name, Ricky Rebel.
You do it well. Yeah. And I want to give you a little commercial highlight too. You just came out with another single and a music video to match, and you can get that everywhere. Let me pull it up. It is called
Right Again.
Ricky Rebel. Right Again.
Right. And apparently it's genreless.
What is that?
There's a website you go on to, and you click if you go on Google and say, okay, find genre of a song, and there's like this website, and you can click any song, you tell them who it is. You know, I could put in Ricky Rebel, Right Again. And it said, we're sorry, but this song has no genre.
Oh. Okay, you're genre less or you're genre full, right?
Maybe it's full of genres.
Maybe it is. I'm gonna
okay.
Beautiful. Maybe I won't get copyright hit just because that was short.
Short and sweet.
Yes, it was.
Website, and it said this artist has no genres with an exclamation point. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I think that creating something new means that it's never been heard before.
You made up your own genre.
Yeah, I made my own genre. That's the happy spin I put on all of that.
I think but that's the way to be happy, right? You're gonna choose to see it as a positive, creative thing instead of something missing.
I make the music I want to hear. That's all, and I don't put myself on a train track and say, you have to sound like this artist, you have to sound like this. And I think a lot of people do. A lot of people copy, and which is probably the right thing to do, you know, for labels and commercial, whatever, to copy someone. But that's not what I want to do. I want to do what's in my heart to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, one of my songs is in a festival, another festival happening. Time will tell. I got to tell you about my friend. She's so excited. She
Tell
did
me.
this movie called Apocalypse Love, and it's such a cool movie. It's like a puppeteer movie.
Mm.
It's made all of puppets, and it's a love story about the zombie apocalypse, but they find love in the zombie apocalypse.
Aw.
And so this movie is the official selection at the Dances with Films Festival happening in 2025. It's coming up. So they're going to be where Sunday, June 22nd at 6:15 p.m. at the TCL Chinese Theater, 6925 Hollywood Boulevard, California. Come meet the filmmakers and party with the festival. Apocalypse Love movie. And here it is with me.
Oh, that's so cool. June 20. I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'm going to write that down.
It's going to be a red carpet event. It's going to be really fun.
Fantastic. June 22nd.
I should tell my PR agent.
Yeah.
About that.
Like Juan.
Yeah, Juan.
It's Sunday, June 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so it's at what time?
An example of a song that, might be, quote, not have a genre, but it fit the film perfectly.
That's perfect. Isn't that cool though? You don't have just a song, but it's going to go in a movie. That puts you in the composer arranger track too.
Yeah.
You're multi-hyphenate.
Oh my gosh. When you see the film, I've already seen it. It's beautiful. But like at the end, it's like the romantic scene between the two puppets. And then my song starts to play and like the music, it's like all ambiance. And like you said, it's like composing. It like fit perfectly with what was happening. I was like, this is crazy. Watching it on the big screen is it's really fun.
That's cool. So, I put it in my calendar, so I'll definitely be there. So you can
make the music you love, make what you want, and don't copy people. Yeah. And have fun while you're making music. It should be a fun experience. It should be like effortless. Don't, too much thinking, put that away. Try not to think so hard. Just feel. And a lot of that comes out with your friends as well.
That's cool.
Creating music with your friends who are in that type of frame of mind. That's when you come with some real magic, because you're just like, you're just not thinking. And I wrote Boys and Sometimes Girls, my Billboard Top 40 record, like without even thinking. It literally just came out of my body. And those are songs.
You know why? You're tapped
channeling
into and hooked into and plugged into the creative force of the world and love and life, which creates every single drop of water that's different from each other. That's pretty creative. Every single snowflake different than the other. That's pretty creative. And we all have access to that. But you said the key word is we've got to stop thinking. When we think, we block. That's why I meditate. I meditate because not because I'm trying to get something even, but it just clears my mind of all those negative limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of that, of drinking my creative juice in the morning. And my UPS man, my universal power source, delivers when that happens, and that was so cool. The morning that my mom passed, I went and had to do a meeting, and I came back and I turned back into my garage, and there was a UPS truck standing right there. So just a little reminder that And I promised that I would tell you this story. And actually,
I think I've heard this story, and I love it. You could tell it again, but I love it.
Oh, good.
They're watching you in heaven, right?
Yes. You want to tell it?
No, you could tell it.
Leo, you do your thing. Our Ricky Rebel best hits are created quickly and sound original. Latest pop needs them.
I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Leo.
Yeah. Mama says that I've helped you immensely. Believe me. Oh, that just made my day. Thank you, Mama.
I love you, Mama.
Ricky Rebel.
She can see a difference in me.
Oh,
she knows.
Gosh, we're gonna have to do lunch again.
I told you the importance of this show. It's just so important because we have 80% negative thoughts on a loop.
85%
85%.
negative thoughts of the 55,000 thoughts you have a day. That's a lot of negative thought. So
A lot
you
of
have to
negative
use
thoughts. We got
that
to balance
muscle.
it. Let's
Yeah.
balance it.
Yeah. So let's balance a belief system about death. I also do not believe in hell or purgatory. That's my choice. If you do, that's fine. If it's working for you, keep doing it. But if it's giving you anxiety, you might want to think about changing your belief system. And you have the freedom and the power to do so. Nobody's pointing a gun to your head to believe anything, even though a lot has been done in religion to make you think that you have to. But I will never forget the day someone told me I could have a designer God, and hey, I like designers, so that made if I could make him anything I wanted, not a God that needed anger management classes. And so I believe that when people die, they go back into love, also known as heaven. And I had a dream after my dad passed from lymphoma, and I was flying, flying, and then I saw my dad sitting in this like a living room setting, and I was watching, and as I'm flying, every once in a while he'd stand up and go woohoo, and then I got closer and I saw, oh my goodness, there's more than my dad there was Michael Maine, my graduate school best friend who passed from AIDS, my Dr. Carl, my surrogate papa number 3, and all these people who loved me were sitting around looking at something and cheering every once in a while. I'm like getting closer. I couldn't see it. And I flew in closer and closer and closer. And all of a sudden I stopped and I started to cry from gratitude, because what they were watching on the big screen was my life. And anytime something great happened, they would stand up and cheer.
Aww,
isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's very real.
So vivid. And so when people are wondering what's happened to their loved ones when they pass, you can borrow that. It was real for me. It's as real as it is today. And that's what I choose. Choice is the most powerful tool in life you have. No one points a gun to your head to say, well, in some countries they do, but we're lucky and fortunate in America that we can choose to believe what we want to choose. And we don't have to argue about what we want to believe in. We can just believe it ourselves, and
or change it if we want to.
Whatever makes you feel good, whatever BS belief system is the best feeling thought, that's the one I'm going to choose. So thinking that people are in hell because they were bad people, or even if they were good people, that doesn't work for me. So I choose to believe my dream, and that's what they're doing. And that's why I say when people pass, they are now in a place that they can love you unconditionally, because on earth, the only things that can love you unconditionally are your dogs. So we tried to love
and
unconditionally cats. And cats. Sorry. Well, I don't know. Your cats. I babysat one time a little kitten, and man, that thing was Diablo. But anyways, I'm allergic to them now, so I have to deal with them. But I'm sure I will love your cats.
You will.
But where they are when they pass, where my mom is now, she loves me unconditionally. She couldn't do it here, but she can do it from there. Right.
Yeah, of course.
And so that's my BS, my belief system.
I love that. Yeah. I have a story about, when I didn't tell you, my grandfather died. And back in the day, I don't know if you believe this or not, I had a really hard time with being on time. I don't know.
8:59. Ricky, do you have the link?
It's like inconceivable, right? Me being It's
Shocker. You're not the you're the only your other co-host is the same way. Again,
the male
the boys.
Or the female? The male?
The boys.
The male,
boys.
yeah.
Yeah, the female is not always on time, but she's more on time than she's not. So the boys again.
So
I love my boys.
Just yell at me, Rick, get down. We have to go, Rick. And I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm getting ready. I'm like, just, fussing with my hair in the mirror, trying to get the outfit right. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at my mirror on the thing, and it goes like that. It shook. It went, and I was like, oh my gosh. That's my grandfather. He's like, get your behind downstairs right now. Like, what are you doing? You're making mom scream like that for you. Get downstairs. There's no way that mirror shook. It was like a little mini earthquake just for the mirror. And there was no earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Like a shake. And I was like, I knew immediately. I'm like, I'm sorry, Grandpa. I'm going downstairs now.
I believe it.
I'm going down now.
Definitely believe it. And now I know what to text you when you're not here, and I'm already starting it.
I'm shaking your mirror right now.
Grandpa's here in studio.
Grandpa's shaking that mirror.
I'm waiting for your mom to react to this. This is pretty funny.
So she gets a kick out of that story.
I'm sure. And if you've just tuned in, you're wondering what's going on in studio today. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Podcast show number 1401, but who's counting over the last 682 consecutive weeks. Wow. And that's 13 years we're celebrating. May 1st, 2012 was my first show. And they said I wouldn't last a year because I don't talk about the headlines or the K word, Kardashian talk, or anything that is going on right now in the headlines, because it usually makes us feel bad or say, what's wrong with people? So 13 years later, I'm so glad to prove them wrong, because someone told me the other day, my show is like, that last bit in an hour show, they do a feel-good story, but I took that feel-good story and pulled it and made it into a whole hour show. And I don't know if I told you this, I rail against people who measure people by numbers. However, I just found out, and I told Juan, I was kind of shocked myself, because I usually look at how many views I have on the YouTube TV channel. I didn't realize you could see impressions as well. But I was happy, because not because it makes me big, but it makes me happy that people want to hear good news, right? But guess how many impressions I had last week?
I don't know. Last week?
3,880,000.
Wow. That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So I was shocked. because I get sensitive when people ask me what my numbers are, because I do not buy numbers and all of that. But now it's like, okay,
impression number.
I'm making an impression, okay? So, a positive impression.
Yes, you are. Speaking of positive impressions, I want to show you my lock screen.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Is that Willow?
That's Willow.
Oh,
that's my baby.
So beautiful. What kind? You told me it was a man. No, is that the other one?
She's a ragdoll. She's a purebred ragdoll.
Ragdoll. The other one it starts with a man, right?
He's a Maine Coon.
Maine Coon. Okay. In ragdolls, an actual breed?
Yep. Ragdolls are very popular.
I love learning new things.
Sylvester Stallone has a cat from the same breeder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you get him on the show?
Can we get Sylvester Stallone? I got
his cat.
Let's start with calling them.
That was the cat.
The ragdoll breeders. They love the fact that Patrick and I take such good care of Willow and Max,
Aw.
but specifically Willow, their baby.
Oh,
And
that's
they're constantly
nice.
commenting. It's called Max and Willow Cats on Instagram if you want to follow them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guess what?
We're out of time.
Sorry, but we have to go. Final word. What's your final word on the circle of life?
On the circle of life.
Mm.
Life keeps moving. Life keeps going. There's life after death. There's love after death.
Mm.
There's success after death. There's adventure after death. Yeah. That's my final thought.
Awesome. My final word is life is way too short to be pissed off all the time. And there's so much of life that is creative, as we've been talking about. And I hope that you remember those that you miss whole. And that today, if you are missing someone, instead of thinking about them their last day or hour, to write a book. When my father was passing from lymphoma and there was nothing they could do because he wasn't responding to the chemo, took him off, and he just lived the rest of his life in pain. But instead of spending time with him and asking him how he was feeling, I actually wrote a book and said things I learned from my father, and I read it to him. So if you're knowing and loving someone who's going through some terminal illness, this is a tool that I talk about in the book, and it's a beautiful way in which to have meaningful interactions during the last times of their lives when they're here. And I did that with my mom. The 2 weeks is every time I came and sat, even if she was not there, I would talk about, remember the time when. And that is another tool that, they're not going to be gone. You can have access to them anytime you see something that's a memory. That's them reminding you of the beautiful interactions that you had. So hopefully today has been an episode where you can embrace loss that isn't really a loss. That's my final word. Thank you, Ricky, for holding me. And see, every time I say something significant, there's a siren out there. And as usual, there you go. Let's see. It's all about balance. Oh, don't forget, put on your calendar if you're in Southern California, June 22nd, to go and watch this film premiere with Ricky in it and his
Apocalypse
music.
Love. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will be there as well. And you can meet me on the carpet and we get a photo, three of us together, whatever you'd like.
Yeah. I'm sharing it with you right now.
Pardon? Oh,
I'm
perfect.
sharing it with you on Instagram, so you have it.
It's all about balance. Oh, we have one here. Willow is Miss June.
Oh, she is Miss June. She is Miss June in the calendar. I'll share that with
that's
you.
So cute.
I'll share it with you in June.
Okay, cool. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Mercer reporting live from her living room with my fabulous co-host, Ricky Rebel. And take us out wishing you
the best weekend ever. Let's go.